Well, thanks again for taking out the time to come to my home and learning about the Ministry of Athletes in Action. Really appreciate you joining me tonight. It's good to see you. Yeah. How's your family? Good, good. Yep, everyone's doing well. Thank you. Yeah, this is just something new that I'm getting started. I'm excited about. So, should be interesting. Oh, thanks. Yeah, good to see you. Well, yeah, a little bit about our ministry. I know you played college athletics, so yeah, one thing that you and I can relate to, because I played college basketball as well, but one thing that I can relate to, and yourself as well, is just the competition of college athletics is just, at a very high level. Not only athletically and physically, but there's a lot of competition for the lives, souls of these college athletes on campus. They're influenced with all kind of things, sexual immorality, drugs and alcohol, you name it, it's on that campus, as you probably are well aware of. Well, there's a tremendous competition for the minds and hearts of student athletes, as I mentioned. How they are influenced in college will most likely affect them for the rest of their lives. Athletes today face many challenges. A national study of college student drinking found that athletes have significantly higher rates of heavily drinking than non-athletes. Also, for the past 7 years, here's a story about an athlete at Ohio State, hockey player. Here's his testimony. It says for the past 7 years he had been searching and had empty feeling. He turned to all the wrong places. He was probably the biggest boozer on campus has ever seen. He turned to drugs, but none of that really fulfilled him. It just left him craving something he felt deep down inside, but he didn't know what to turn to, and he felt like he could never get out of that pressure situation. So that's just one example, but I know when I was in college, and you shared some stories with me as well, but there's those social pressures of going to parties, hanging around the wrong crowds, different things like that, which could get an athlete caught up as far as just being on the right track. I know we want them to succeed in sports and academics, but also there's a void spiritually that needs to be fulfilled as well. Here's another fact from the Center for Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse and Violence Prevention. Though men on sports teams were less than 2% of the total male population on campus, they made up 23% of the attackers of sexual assaults on campuses. And that's a huge statistic, because these men are hurting on campuses. Athletics, it puts you in a position where you're in the limelight, and dating becomes magnified, and all these other social pressures. But we know that if we point these athletes towards Jesus, that they will have an opportunity to be in the light, be a positive role model on campuses, and end up doing the right thing by discipleship and some of the programs that we offer. One thing that really got me involved in sports ministry when I was in high school, I had coaches that took me to practice and shared the Word of God with me. They invited me to sports camps, and it was just a huge benefit for me. I gained so much by hanging around coaches who loved the Lord and who were willing to step up and disciple a young athlete like myself. And in return, that's what I'm trying to give back. There's a lot of hurting athletes out there who need our love and support on campuses. Visiting several colleges, you'll notice that athletes have they have their sports coaches, they have their academic professors, but there's no one that's really pouring into them spiritually. So that is why we are needed on campuses, to share our lives with athletes, steer them in the right direction.